What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Blureel Studios. On this episode, I'm going to showcase my brand new t-shirt to you guys, which is like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Also, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so we have a lot to talk about. I have several editions, several Blu-rays to showcase to you guys. Some of them are Steelbooks, some of them are collector's editions, but we'll just jump into it with some Arrow video editions to the family. First up, we have Madhouse, a double disc edition with DVD and Blu-ray. A horror film from the 80s about twins, and one of them is evil. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to watch it. I was hoping to watch it with Halloween, but unfortunately we didn't get around to it. But it is on my watch list. I think this looks amazing. I love Arrow Video. I love their releases, especially the bonus content they provide with each and every release. Up next we have Society. Look at this cover art, which is disgusting, and I love it. I know about this film. I have heard things about it, but I've never seen it. And from what I can tell, it's going to be something very disturbing, which I'm all for, of course. Look at that cover art. It's brutal. It's by Brian Usna, who you may or may not know from the Reanimator series, which are some of my favorite guilty pleasure horror films of all time. Now, a horror film that is actually amazing is Wreck. This is an Arrow Video release with a slipcover, and this film is brutal. I love this movie so much. It's like probably one of the best, if not the best, found footage horror films ever made. It's from Spain, and it's amazing. And it has, as you might expect with any great film, a terrible American version. Up next, we have probably one of the most interesting releases that Arrow Video has ever done, Death Screams. This is as exploitative as you can get with a horror film from the 80s, complete with a terrible looking back. This beautiful, charming, and classy looking young lady is actually a playable bunny from the 80s. So of course, it's a horror film from the 80s, cheap, gory, and disgusting. And I love it. I have no idea what in terms of bonus features, but I love this edition. I love the slipcover. When you slip that off, the screaming mouth, you can actually see the cover art. Nothing on the back, so can't tell. Yes, there are bonus features on there, which are on the inside of it. So yeah, Death Screams. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm expecting a sleazy, disgusting horror film, which will pass 90 minutes on a Saturday afternoon. We're gonna dive into some collector's editions, also from Arrow Video, starting off with Dune by David Lynch. I love the cover artwork for this one. This is one of my favorite collector's editions I've ever seen. Like, this is beautiful. I love the artwork on this one. Poster is included, of course. Blu-ray case with 2 discs, a bonus disc and the feature disc. It has some art cards from the film, and of course the original cover art. There was also a steelbook for this film, the 4K steelbook, which came with the alternative artwork on the front. Now, from what I hear, this film wasn't that great, or at least according to the critics. This is one of the only studio films David Lynch has ever produced or ever directed, and he hated the experience. But I actually really am excited to see this one, but I'm waiting until I've seen the new Dune, or the second part of it. I've seen the first one, which was amazing. I love that film so much. I love Denis Villeneuve, and I want to see that vision concluded properly before I dive into this one, because I know nothing about Dune, the original story. I've never read the books. I've never seen any of the other versions. No, I've never seen the series that spawned from it, including a series with James McAvoy, if you can believe it. But I'm waiting to see this film, the David Lynch version, after I've seen the new vision by Denis Villeneuve. So I'm really excited about that one. Up next we have Tremors. This is also a Arrow Collector's Edition, which looks beautiful. What I love about this edition is that it comes in a black case. This is not the 4K version, but still, love the artwork on this one. And I've seen the film, not all the way through, but I really like it a lot. Titans of Cult has become one of my favorite Blu-ray labels. Their releases have been amazing, their lineup of films have been incredible, and their 4K treatment and the Steelbooks have been outstanding. The most recent one I acquired is A Clockwork Orange, and since then they have put Halloween 2018 in their lineup, as well as The Matrix, which obviously sold out before you can even speak its name. But I got my hands on the Clockwork Orange 4K Steelbook, which obviously comes with a lot of goodies. So first up, this collector's edition doesn't come with one pin, but two unique custom-made pins, which are much appreciated. I will never put these on my clothes, but you know, I think the pins is a way to distinguish themselves from other labels, from other Blu-ray companies, and it's unique and something special that you might not get in any other collector's edition. Obviously, we have the 4K Steelbook, which is not my favorite, but still, it's a beautiful looking Steelbook. What I miss in Titans of Cult's releases is some imprinting, some debossing and embossing on the Steelbooks themselves, but it's really nitpicky because, you know, they give the films the 4K treatment it deserves. They also provide it with a Blu-ray, and yeah, this is like one of the most disturbingly violent and disgusting films ever made, and that's why it's so timeless and outstanding. It's Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece in a lot of ways, and it's hard to say because he has made a lot of freaking masterpieces, but this is one of my favorite films by Stanley Kubrick of all time, easily. And yet it's one of those films that's not an easy watch. It's a film that you really have to be in the mood for, because there are some disturbing and vile things that happen in the film, and which it needs. You know, if the film wasn't on that level, it would never be a timeless classic that it is. Now, to conclude my epic adventure in just movies, I was looking for this particular collector's edition, this collection of films by Tarantino, the Tarantino XX anniversary collection, a celebration of 20 years of filmmaking, all wrapped up into one beautiful collection. I remember vividly when it was released, and I got to the store where I got all my Blu-rays back then, and they had the collection on Blu-ray and on DVD, and on DVD it was like $80 at that time, and the Blu-ray set was over $100, so it was such a pricey item. And a couple of weeks after that, they priced down this DVD collection to $30, which was a steal, which I picked up, which has been in my collection for years now. And then I got a text from Just Movies. The guy, the owner, texted me, "Are you still interested in picking it up on Blu-ray? Because I have a copy if you want it." And my friends, here it is, the Blu-ray collection of 20 years of filmmaking. Quentin Tarantino's essentials, everything from True Romance, which he wrote but did not direct, up to Inglourious Basterds, all in one beautiful looking collection. What I love about this collection, what makes it stand out above the rest, is first of all the artwork, which is amazing, of course. Custom artworks, the little nuggets from each and every film. You have the Pussy Wagon, you have the mask from the Crazy 88s, and then we have some character artworks on the inside, and it folded open, and this is what I'm talking about. Custom thematic artworks for each and every disc. This is what we want to see as collectors. Effort. Kill Bill with the list all the way up to Inglourious Basterds, and 2 bonus discs, which was 2 less than in the DVD collection, which had 4, probably because Blu-rays contain a lot more memory, so you can put a lot more bonus features on one disc rather than spread it out over 4, which is fine by me. But the fact that I have this collection on Blu-ray makes me a happy camper. This has been my holy grail for several years. Picking this one up used, a used copy even, was super expensive, and I got this for a great price. I even was able to mark that price a bit down in exchange for several other DVDs and Blu-rays which I had no use for. So again, I love Just Movies. I love that guy. He's such a nice guy, and he came through for me. We talked about this months ago, and the fact that he thought about me when he got this in his shop blows my mind, and I'm incredibly thankful for him, you know, thinking about me. So this is one of my favorite possessions as of this moment. Tarantino's 20 years of filmmaking Blu-ray collection set. Yes! We're gonna dive into some Steelbooks, and these Steelbooks I am really, really excited about. Let's start with the most recent one, which I literally got in the mail today. This is a 4K Steelbook, which I have never seen. I've never seen the film, but I have heard a lot of great things about it, and I am a sucker for practical makeup effects. Like, one of my favorite horror films from the 80s is An American Werewolf in London. The transformation scene in this film is so awesome and disturbing because it all feels real, and the effects were so amazing. Well, The Howling, from what I can tell, is going to be similar to that. This is the 4K Steelbook. There is a film directed by Joe Dante, and what is interesting about this film is that it features special effects by Rob Bottin, who also worked on The Thing, one of the greatest just practical effects film ever made. So I'm really excited to see The Howling. And what we miss in our cinematic landscape nowadays is a great werewolf film. What happened to that genre, which was so specific and awesome? But anyway, we have The Howling now in our collection, and you can be damn sure that I'm going to watch this film at some point. In the summer, I was lucky enough to go on a vacation trip with my wife to France. And whilst there, they have a Blu-ray shop, or a media store basically, in the vicinity, several miles from where we were staying. So obviously, I make it a tradition to go there. In the past, I have picked up Apocalypse Now, the 4K Steelbook there. And this year, the Mondo 4K Steelbook for the Avengers. Holy crap. This thing is an absolute beauty. And if you know anything about Mondo, they are kind enough to provide their Steelbooks with a see-through slipcase. And they go above and beyond. They even put some artwork and the title on the slipcase. They even go as far as to make it fit with the artwork on the back. So Iron Man gets a hero shot on the back, and it fits with the slipcase. Like, that stuff is amazing. This Steelbook is beautiful. I love the artwork. I love the color work on there. And if you open it up, obviously we have the 4K Steelbook as well as the Blu-ray, which, again, custom artwork that fits with the artwork on the Steelbook. That is what we're looking for as collectors, because they can pick any, you know, Blu-ray from the shelf on the Marvel section, and they're going to be blue, which I like. It's fine. It's awesome. You know, the Blu-rays are blue and the DVDs are gray, but they go the extra mile and put some character artworks on the discs. Like, that's what we're looking for. That is what makes me as a collector very freaking happy. So, the Mono Steelbook for the Avengers in my collection. Yes. If you thought we couldn't get any bigger in this episode, if you thought we couldn't go any further into legendary status in this episode, you are dead wrong. I have ventured into Mordor. I have traveled across Middle-earth, and I have returned with the one collection to rule them all. The Lord of the Rings 4K Steelbook collection. Look at how freaking beautiful this edition is. The color work, the artwork, it's astoundingly beautiful. It is, in fact, my precious. And a 4K Steelbook collection is not complete, of course, without 4K Steelbooks, so we'll talk you through every one of them. Oh man, I'm so excited about this one. I've talked about this when I got the extended editions on Blu-ray, which was a holy grail for me for some time, and I talked in that video about pre-ordering this collection, and once I was was able to get it, I would talk about it, and I'm making good on that promise. The Lord of the Rings, the 4K Steelbook collection, like, oh my god. Let's start off with this one, the Fellowship of the Ring. Our first steps into Middle-earth. The Steelbook is absolutely stunning. The color work is beautiful. The artwork is even better. A leaf of Lothlorien on the back. We open it up and we have 3 discs. The 4K version of the theatrical cut, as well as the 4K version of the extended cuts, which, like, that's so awesome. Of course, there are no bonus features in this edition, which is fine because I own the DVD collection as well as the Blu-ray collection, which is right up there. But to have this film, this trilogy on 4K, of course, the first thing I did is watch them, and they look amazing. Something I miss in this Steelbook is some debossing and embossing, and I would prefer to have like a glossy touch to it, but it's fine. It's nitpicking at this point because the artwork is amazing, the color work is amazing, and it fits. The green fits with the original green from the Fellowship of the Ring, obviously. Up next we have The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the second part in this amazing trilogy. We have The Two Towers, Orthanc and Barad-dûr and Orthanc on the front. The color red, which fits with the original DVD collection. And we have the Ents rise, their rebellion against Saruman and Isengard, which is awesome, which is one of the most impressive moments in the entire trilogy. On the back we have the emblem for Rohan, the Horse Lords, again with that red touch to it. These discs look a bit more maroon or pinkish than I would have liked, but it's fine. They look amazing. 4K version of the theatrical cut as well as the extended versions, which are awesome, by the way. Last, but certainly not least, the Return of the King. Of course, Gollum or Smeagol is on the front. The blue, again, fitting with that DVD release years ago. Oh man, I love this edition so much. And the crown from Gondor on the back. I was thinking about getting this tattooed, actually. I love the design of this one, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking about it. But look at how beautiful this edition is. Again, I'll show you the discs, the theatrical cut as well as the extended versions on 4K. Yes, so I was pondering about getting the 4K Steelbook edition for the Hobbit trilogy, but they're so freaking expensive. And in the meantime, the Middle-earth collection has released with 31 discs worth of content, which I probably will not be picking up soon because I own the DVD collection. I own the theatrical cut on Blu-ray, I own the extended cuts on Blu-ray, and now I own them on 4K. It's getting to a point where I'm like, alright, this is probably going to be it. This is probably, like, unless they're going to release an 8K version on, like, whatever it's going to be back, you know, I don't know, man. I love these editions. I adore them. This is like one of my favorite trilogies of all time, if not my favorite trilogy of all time. So I'm super excited that I have this in my collection, and I got this at a fairly great price at the time, because after I pre-ordered it, and even before they came out, in that time span, the price even went up on Zavi. So I was lucky enough to pick this up at a great price. Like, for a 4K collection, I spent a fair amount of money, obviously, because it is a 4K collection, brand new. But still, for this collection and the amount of love and affection they put into this, just the box set itself, I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks, and it's worth it to me. To me, it's worth it, and that's what matters. As a collector, you might relate. Something is worth the price that you're willing to pay for it, and if it's not worth that, then don't buy it. I have skipped on several releases throughout the years, even from Titans of Cult, which I would definitely pick up, but like the pricing, at some point you're gonna have to make a decision if it's worth it or not. In any case, this was this episode of Blureel Studios. There has been no cameo of Leo, which is weird, which probably means that she's being naughty. Let me go check. I found her. There she is. There you go. You're a little kitty cat. Well, obviously she was being naughty, but as any cat owner can relate, you can't really stay that mad for too long. She's such a sweetie. She's such a sweetie. Look at that little face. I love her so much. Oh, she's such a nice girl. Yes, she is. She's such a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yes, she is. Look at that little face. I love her so much. I love her so much. There you go. So, yeah, I'm going to conclude this episode of Blureel Studios. Obviously, I couldn't just skip an episode or have it so that Leo wouldn't be in it. So, thank you so much for watching this episode of Blureel Studios. I have a new EP out right now. It's called the Euphoria EP. A collection of songs I'm really, really proud of. I will leave a link in the description. You can get a free copy of each and every song on the EP by going to my SoundCloud. I will put the link in the description. I would be so honored if you checked it out, because as you may or may not know, apart from a film enthusiast, I'm also a music producer, and I create some swanky tunes from now and then. So if you could check out my EP, I would be very, very happy and very, very honored if you could show some appreciation. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Blureel Studios. I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, and if I don't see you before the year's over, have a good one. Stay safe out there, and take care of the people you love, and start with yourself, because you are worth loving. See you next time. Ciao. You're so fucking cringe, dude. Ugh.